Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Bonta, California Attorney General. Thank you for being here in Oakland. And I want to, in particular, thank my incredible colleagues, Attorney General from Colorado, Phil Weiser, and the Attorney General from New Jersey, Jennifer Davenport, for being here, for making the trip to be part of this first day of trial. I am grateful that we have an incredible collaborative team. We have another member of the team who wasn't able to make it today, but I want to thank him for his participation and his support. That's Kentucky Attorney General Coleman. But his team is here, and I was recently in our war room with our team members, and we had team members from each of our states here, from Colorado, New Jersey, California, Kentucky, as well as some other states. And I want to just lift up the collaborative effort which this case is. We are the 4 states that are part of this, what we call a bellwether case. But there are 29 states, bipartisan, across the country, who are standing up for families, for parents, of course, for children, for consumers. And I'm proud to be part of that collaboration. So we are teaming up here in our efforts to hold Meta accountable. Today, of course, was the first day of trial. It'll be a 5 to 7 week trial. But today, both the attorneys general and Meta laid out our cases. And I'm probably biased, but I found our case to be incredibly compelling, devastating in the presentation. The jury seemed very focused on hanging on every word that was being said. And we, of course, heard from the first witness, a whistleblower engineer from Meta who was in charge of child safety while there, who talked about the fact that Meta knew the harms that it was visiting upon children but failed to act. He also talked about their motto, their culture, if you will, which was to move fast and break things. Unfortunately, the thing that was broken here was the mental health of our children. And so I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be here. We laid out our case today, which is essentially this, that Meta has designed and deployed a dangerous product with dangerous features that they knew would create excessive use and compulsive use by children, and it would create mental health harms, including things like anxiety and depression, like body image issues, like addictive tendencies, like learning loss. They knew all that. They knew their product was dangerous, and they lied to the public. They lied to Congress. They told the public, they told the world that their product was safe, that it wasn't dangerous. And so their deception, their lies are at the core of our case. And we are excited about how our first day at trial went. We're excited about the opportunity to hold Meta accountable for its conduct. And we look forward to taking this case all the way to the end here and getting the appropriate remedies, both injunctive relief, changes in behavior, changes in business practices going forward, as well as the appropriate financial penalties. A couple things I want to highlight. Between our investigation and our and disclosures from former insiders, whistleblowers, folks who used to work at Meta, we have proof that Meta knows that Instagram is harmful to a significant percentage of teenagers, especially teen girls. Meta knows that. Meta knows that more than 13% of teen girls on Instagram say the platform makes thoughts of suicide and self-injury worse. Meta knows that. They know that 17% say it makes eating issues worse. And 32% say it makes body images worse. Meta knows that. Meta knows that certain key features can push users into harmful content. Meta knows that the like button leads teens to compulsively engage with the platform. Meta knew all of that and more and decided to do more of it, to dig in deeper, to double down on that conduct, on those practices. Mark Zuckerberg, founder, chairman, CEO of Meta, personally axed Meta's proposed policy to ban image filters that simulated the effects of plastic surgery, despite internal pushback from his own team. His own employees were telling him he shouldn't do this. And an expert consensus that such filters harm users' mental health, especially women and girls. Mr. Zuckerberg himself chose profits over the safety of children. He was presented with a choice where his own staff was telling him, this will hurt kids if you do it. We think you shouldn't do it. And he overruled them and said, do it, knowingly harming kids, and then later telling the world that their product was safe. The company had internal discussions about the negative impacts of the like button, but they decided to keep it anyway. Again, they chose profits over the safety of children. At the same time, the company affirmatively misled teens. It misled their parents and the public about the safety of its platforms for young users and concealed the ways in which Instagram and Facebook exploit and manipulate its most vulnerable consumers, teenagers, and children. Zuckerberg testified to Congress that Meta doesn't design its products to be addictive, that Instagram does not harm children. Instagram President Adam Mosseri testified to Congress that Instagram is not addictive. These and other statements by the companies were picked up in the media. They were relied on by teens, but relied on by their parents, and relied on by the community at large. Our investigation even found instances where the company acknowledged internally that it had misled the public. I'm glad that they acknowledged that fact, that they misled the public. Meta's conduct is deceptive, it is dangerous, and as we make clear in our lawsuit, and as is most important in a court of law, it is illegal. The company had a legal, not to mention a moral, obligation to consider the safety of young users when designing their products. The data is clear. More time on social media tends to be correlated with depression and anxiety, body image issues, susceptibility to addiction, and interference with daily life, including learning. If you're a parent, like I am, or a guardian, a teacher, a healthcare provider, sadly, you have likely seen some of this play out in your own life, in real life. Parents and caregivers protect children from so many daily dangers, as we should, making sure our children wear a seatbelt, keeping a close eye on kids around water. If you have a baby, cutting food like a blueberry down into a small enough piece so it doesn't choke the baby. But we cannot adequately protect our children from the harms of Instagram and Facebook when the company, one of the largest, richest, most powerful companies on the face of the earth, lies to us and hides the truth and designs these platforms to drive compulsive use while lying to your face and telling you it's safe. Parents cannot do their job if they're being lied to. Teens, parents, the community, the public deserve the truth. You should not be lied to. You deserve better than that. As Attorney General of the greatest state in the nation, sorry to my colleagues, they can and they should say the same thing about their states. But the state where Meta has made its home and has done very, very well for itself. I'm proud to co-lead this national fight to demand accountability and to demand justice. This is about our children, the next generation, our kids. They deserve to be safe. And Meta has acted unlawfully here. We are here to hold them accountable. We look forward to continuing our trial and bringing our case forward. Before I turn it over to my colleagues to make a few remarks, I want to thank the individuals on my team who have given so much of their time, their energy, their passion, their talent, their skills to bring this case to court today. Watching our team present the case, talking to them in the war room, I couldn't be more proud to be their colleague, to be on their team, to be part of their team fighting for the safety of our kids and our children. They don't do it for the limelight, so I'm about to embarrass them. But I want to thank them, and they deserve this recognition, so I want to say some of their names. Megan O'Neill, who delivered an incredible opening statement. Josh Oleszewski, Jubileer. Neha Arora, Casey Reed, Sam Beckett, Pauline Ryan, Jordy Hefcart, David Beglin, Jake Fernandez, Robbie Matson, Michelle Koseng, Emily Kalanithi, Barney Eskandari, Tina Charanpong, and Nick Akers. An incredible team doing incredible work, each and every one of them, to the person, true and great public servants. With that, I am happy to turn it over to my incredible colleague from Colorado, Attorney General Phil Weiser.